In this episode, I'm going to talk about egotism, narcissistic traits, and narcissistic personality disorder so you can figure out whether or not you have a narcissist in your life. Do you have a narcissist in your life? Well, today I'm going to help you identify whether or not you do. So, a lot of times people will use narcissism or call someone a narcissist when they're really not. And I think that term has been thrown around too loosely these days for people with big egos, right? So, if someone has a big ego, they may be very jealous, they may be very arrogant, they may be self centered. But egotism tends to be short lived, where narcissism is longer lived. And if it's really bad, it becomes a personality disorder. And it could have come up from nature and nurture. And if it is a personality disorder, then that's when you need to be aware because those people will not change their behaviors. They will hurt you with no guilt or no remorse. Because today I'm going to break down exactly what NPD looks like so you don't get confused where somebody who either has narcissistic traits but doesn't have the personality disorder or somebody with a healthy ego. Healthy ego, big ego, you can decide on that. And also at the end of the day, if you have somebody in your life, whether it's a personal relationship or professional, who you believe has too much of an ego for you to deal with, or does have narcissistic traits that just doesn't make you comfortable because they're always out for themselves. They have this inflated sense of self-entitlement. They will do anything and stop anything or anyone in their tracks, holding them back. So at that point, just get rid of them, right? You have to make that critical decision if this relationship is something that you want to be in and that you want to handle. Because if you don't, it's time to say goodbye. Now, a person with narcissistic personality disorder, that's a relationship that's super tough because here's the deal. If you don't say goodbye, then you are in the long haul with those behaviors because they won't change. Now, a person with narcissistic traits, they may change because they will know right from wrong and they will make micro changes to do better and to treat you better. But people with narcissistic personality disorder, they can't. Now, they may know right from wrong as well and make a slightest tweak in their behavior, but they will reset every time back to the personality disorder because it's clinical. It is not just a trait, it's clinical at this point. So let me go through what MPT looks like. I would say that the biggest alarming thing is control. Somebody with MPD wants total control over you, over the situation, over their environment. But if they want total control over you, they will say and do anything to keep you tethered to them. They will love bomb you after throwing you under the bus or hurting you or abusing you, and then ask for forgiveness and tell you how much they need you in their life. And as soon as you come back, that repeat behavior of hurting you and abusing you will come right back. And it may not be that severe. It may just be that they have absolutely no empathy for you and they don't care. They don't care what you think. They don't care how you feel. And it won't change. I think oftentimes, and I have a lot of friends who will come to me and ask me, what do I do about this relationship? My answer is get out of it. But they can't. And here's why. Because most of us humans want to be honest. We also want to believe that other people will be honest to us. So if I'm going to be honest to you, how would you not want to help me? How would you want to hurt me? And that's what we think. But these are people with a personality disorder. They can't decipher that. It doesn't work with how their pattern of thinking goes and their behavior. So at this point, for us to think, well, you should want to change for me, that's off the table. It won't happen. So again, you really have to make that decision. Am I strong enough to walk away from this relationship? And it can be professional too. So can I get out of this relationship just to save my sanity and to keep myself safe? And that's really the question that you have to ask yourself. Well, let me go through NPD. All right, so we talked about control. That control can come in so many ways. It can show up in abusive relationships and behaviors, absolutely, whether it's mental abuse or physical abuse. They do have a lack of empathy. So we always say, like for rapport, you want to put yourself in another person's shoes. You want to hear it from their side. You want to feel what they feel. A narcissist doesn't care about that. They don't even have the ability to do it. They have no empathy. Where a person with a big ego, they do have empathy and they can express it. But someone with MPD, their empathy is not there, the remorse is not there, and the guilt for their actions is not there because they have a disorder. So when they hurt you and you expect them to feel bad, don't, because they won't. Control, that self inflated ego, getting anything that they want and doing anything to get what they want. They also will be attracted to people who can give them something, who can create a higher status for them, who can make them look good in a group of people or at work. They will befriend you and want a relationship with you just because you will make them look good. If you have a person who has NPD, the odd thing is this: you may be attracted to them, and not in just a physical way, but you may be attracted to them because you look at them because they're confident and they're charismatic and they're risk takers. A lot of narcissists out there are risk takers, they're confident, they're our leaders, and we look up to these people going, I want to be like that. I want to look like that. And the problem is, if you get into a relationship, though, you will pay the price because they don't care about you. Their one goal is to get what they want, no matter who they hurt or how they do it. The other crazy thing about narcissists is that they have this delusion about themselves that they are empathetic, and they're not. So, to remember, people with MPD, they want total control over you. Everything. They'll even control who your friends are, or how often you see your family, or what type of work you do, or what you're allowed to talk about in a social setting with them. That's that type of control. Because remember, you're only there to make them look good. They have no empathy. It's impossible for them to step in your shoes, to understand how you feel. They may say they're trying, but they don't have the ability to do it. They lack remorse and guilt for their actions. They will take anybody down to get what they want. They have this self inflated sense of entitlement and ego. And at the end of the day, they just will not have your best interest at hand. It will always be them. And remember this: you cannot change that. So if you think you have someone in your life, whether it's in your personal life or your professional life, who exhibits these traits, you need to do a deep look inside of them. And then you need to ask yourself, am I willing to stay in this relationship? With knowing that I can't change their behaviors, knowing that this behavior will come over and over again. I'll witness it, I'll receive it. Knowing I can't change them, am I willing to stay in this relationship? And I hope this helps you all to figure out who to keep around in your life to keep you safe, healthy, and happy.